What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Cole, DC UPenn's finest. Chris isn't here today. He's being slammed with work this week, so we're just going to two-man weave it for this episode. This will be the only episode of the week, and of course, we're bringing it to the Belly Up channel. We'll be talking a little bit of Week 8 in the NFL, recapping that a little bit, and then at the end of the episode, we'll talk a little bit of NBA. Make sure you guys get your daily dose, or I guess your weekly dose of NBA content from us. So we'll be talking our peak of the week game, Jets and Bengals. Who would have ever thought that would have been the peak of the week game? Steelers, Packers, Eagles, and Giants, and then finish it off Ravens, Bears. Wow, podcast where the fans are Steelers, Eagles, and Ravens fans are talking about the Steelers, Eagles, and Ravens games. Wow. But before we get started on any of that, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Audio listeners, leave a like, 5-star review, anything to push the algorithm. But let's get started with Summits and Plummets. Danny is live from where?
We are in Cozumel, which is about it's an island off the coast of none other than the Clippers' second home, Cancun. So yeah, so we're live from there. We're on the boat right now. We got the boat rocking, middle of the ocean, Missoni room with the Bebelos.
If you know, you know.
So that's definitely the summit. Swam with some stingrays and some nurse sharks today. Got some cool pictures. Definitely a cool spot. Had some tacos on the beach, some tequila. Yo, I promise you, I know you don't like tequila. You'd like this tequila. It's different.
I don't like Casamigos. Espolón's fine. I think that's fine.
Man,
I just don't like Casamigos.
This mezcal, it's all, they don't clean it. Apparently, they don't clean it with like ethanol, so it's just better. So, cheers to real tequila.
Yes.
But
I mean, surely no plummets on the day. Can't be.
I don't know. No plummets on the week. Halloween on the boat. I think it's double summit. I don't have a costume though, so
Do a little DIY.
Yo, I'm thinking about ordering a LeBron mask and wearing a throwback Cavs LeBron jersey for Halloween.
I'm sure you could just put on a LeBron jersey and be like, "Yo, I'm LeBron."
What if I put on like a mask and a hoodie and go boo 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 boo?
Yeah, no. That could definitely work. Surely won't get yourself punched in the face by someone. With an insane jump scare. Summits and plummets over in the college football world. Summit, I feel like they're Summit every single week at this rate. But Alabama, I mean, another good win. Like South Carolina, the record don't jump out. You'd be damned though. You can ask a fan of every team that has gotten to play South Carolina this year. It ain't easy. Lenore Sellers is not an easy dude to guard. But Alabama, another, and this is a comeback victory after like not curb stomping, but kind of handling a bunch of ranked teams in a row, a lot of SEC teams, SEC opponents in a row. South Carolina is kind of like they're the trap game, and I know A&M has them coming up relatively soon. So hope they don't fall for the same thing. Alabama, huge summit to them. They went into Kyle Field East, as we like to call it, and got a huge win. But at the same time, summit to LSU. They fired Brian Kelly. So, huge week in the SEC. A little shout out to Texas. You know, they're starting to collect themselves. Big comeback win. Plummets to Mizzou. Unfortunately, Pribula, not sure how much time he's going to miss, but didn't look good. They ended up losing their game. And, I think I'll leave the plummets to that. Also, shout out to BYU. Undefeated, probably going to be the group of 5 team that no, they're Big 12. I lied. They used to be group of 5. But, they're looking like they can make a real run at this playoffs. Shout out.
Their Big 12, their Big 12 friends might be part of your plummet as well. Dion and them both got.
I mean, I'm not too worried about them. They haven't even really been on the radar this year. So, shout out to Dion and his boys.
Losing by like 60. Never a good
Yes,
sign.
it's not good. Not good. Shout out to Utah. Shout out to Utah. They're climbing the ranks. Welcome Houston into my top 25 for the first time. Thought they deserved it. Um,
Temple,
Texas
welcome home.
A&M. Texas A&M is the QB would be QBU if you counted losing all your good quarterbacks.
Is Evan Simon not in your college football summit? One of two quarterbacks in all of
He's
college
a
football
beast, dude. He's
with
a
one of
beast.
two quarterbacks in all of college football with 15 touchdowns and one or less interceptions.
Well, he is zero. So he's
Well,
got
I said
zero,
one.
and he has, I think, 23 total touchdowns on the year.
That's why I said
He's
15,
rocking
one or
out.
less.
He's been
I
great.
think the only other person is UConn quarterback.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Philadelphia quarterbacking right now is looking good. One could say Lincoln Financial Field quarterbacking is looking good.
Hell
Not
yeah!
sure what
And
Penn is up to in Villanova, but yeah.
I have no clue. Villanova, probably decent. What group of Villanova making a group of 5 action run?
Yeah, why not? Why not, man? No, I think they're FCS.
They are.
Yeah, they're
They
FCS.
played. They
Make
played
the jump
Delaware
one
though,
day,
so
though, little
they
bros.
played Delaware. So maybe Delaware group of 5.
Delaware's probably going to treat them. I'm not going to lie to you. Delaware's they've not been bad for their first year up with the big boys. So shout out to those guys. But let's talk some NFL. Jets Bengals was the
Unk,
best game of the week.
Unk versus Unk, maybe.
Giants or Jets Bengals. You're I can't help but if you're the Bengals, like this really sucks. You had a shot to be 4-4 with Burrow maybe coming back in 2 weeks. And
No.
now
3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
well, all right, we'll say 3 weeks. So even when he does come back, 4-7, Burrow again is one of those guys. We were talking about Lamar could win that many games straight. Burrow just as capable. And it's like, yeah, now you're 3-5. Not
Flacco's going to be
exactly
out
gonna
this week.
yeah. Flacco's hurt, not exactly looking like, and you kind of just and look, your defense is bad, but that bad that the Jets had their day on you. Brees Hall had his day on you. My fantasy team thinks it, but I mean, Justin Fields has his first good game in about 2 months. I mean, it's just embarrassing. It's deflating. You just had a great win against a Pittsburgh team that is kind of on the up and down, but you outgunned them though. They still scored 30 points and you were able to win the game. This time you scored 38 points and you still lose. It's just very devastating. Talk to me about this game though. I guess we haven't given much thought this year, but I mean, talk to me about it from a Jets perspective.
Yeah, I mean, for the Jets, I said for the season, I think we still feel all the same way. They will be competing for the number 1 overall pick. Um, but it's a building year for Aaron Glenn. It's a building year overall. Like what they're gonna do is very similar to what the Lions did back in 2021 when they first got Dan Campbell. You have to decide which players are Aaron Glenn's, which players are here to stay, and they're gonna try to clean house and start fresh. And I'll be damned if they move on from Garrett Wilson or Sauce Gardner in that process because it would be the wrong decision. But
Yeah, I
they,
absolutely agree, and that's a good
the
thing
worst
to.
part is they did this without Garrett Wilson.
They did, yes, they absolutely did, and they leaned into that run game 1,000%. I think that should have been the identity from the get go. I know a lot of people, us included, we were like, all right, well, you can't underestimate, college buddies with Wilson and Fields, but we also, maybe we should have looked at, wow, like Brees Hall. I'm not like the biggest Brees Hall guy in the world, but like him with Justin Fields' athleticism, like that could have just been, a recipe to lean on him. I'm glad they did. And Fields was, doing his stuff with his arm as well. This is one of his better games, I would say, in the last couple of years. So
I do move on from Brees Hall though. I trade him for a second or third round pick or whatever you can get out of him.
if you could get a day 2 pick for Brees Hall, I think you got to do it. Yeah.
He
Yeah,
doesn't fit
I
your
agree.
timeline right. He doesn't fit your timeline right now. He doesn't. I know he's young, but like, why keep a 24, 25-year-old running back for the next 3, 4 years? Rack up his mileage. Just get your draft pick and start fresh.
I mean, I guess it would also. I think it goes back to what you said originally, though. It's if he's like an Aaron Glenn guy, then like I think with the Jets they've had a really bad issue with not letting how do I put it? They're not letting their coaches build the roster they want. They're not letting them have the staff they want. They're not even giving them the time, So um I just wish that with this regimen with Aaron Glenn, if you let Rodgers dictate so many decisions last year, which got your best coach since Rex Ryan fired, then maybe things could turn out. Aaron Glenn knows what a successful franchise looks like. He's been a part of one for years, over in Detroit. So I just hope they give him a little bit more free range. If he wants to keep Breece Hall, go for it. I think the only thing you would simply have to overturn that he would want would be like if he wants to stay in this mediocre land of quarterback. I think you got to be like, nah, man, like. And you know what? If Fields for this back half of the year does his thing, and the quarterbacks in this upcoming class, you're not like, Ty Simpson doesn't have enough great games under his belt for me to trust him, or if Drew Aller decides to come out again, like he has 2.5 seasons starting, but he doesn't have a lot of tape where they like really let him rip and really let him show off that potential. What am I really getting myself into?
Like, Drew Aller has to come out.
Could he medical red shirt, or did he play too many games this year?
He played like 7 games, right?
No, they were through. No, he got hurt like their 6th game into the season.
Yeah, 6 or 7.
Yeah. So regardless, I don't know what he'll intend to do about Fields. But there are of course pieces like you said, Wilson, Hall, Gardner.
More
We'll
about the
see what
game
goes
though,
on
but
with
like
them.
they were pounding the rock, to say the least. They did it without one of their best players in the team, probably a top 2 player in the team. Let's be honest.
Probably the best player on the team.
Quinnen Williams, I'll give him Quinnen.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I was like, I feel like I might be forgetting someone, but like Garrett Wilson's that guy though. So no,
He
you're
is
absolutely right.
their best offensive weapon for sure. But look, if the Bengals comes down, that Bengals defense is atrocious. Like they just don't have pressure. They need to move on from Transition and use this year as a kind of reset without Burrow. You're 3-5. The division is wide open. With the Ravens having the same amount of losses as you, and the Steelers kind of seeming to be spiraling a bit. So the division is open, but just because the door is open doesn't mean you shouldn't slam it shut yourself.
Yeah. Sometimes someone went in your house and they left it open. You didn't mean to leave it open, but kind of just shows, if you have just an owner who doesn't have the money to even match the NFL cap, and you got, I hate to say it, but like 3 players just absorbing the cap space. Your defense is going to look like this, and if you don't have the coordinators or head coach in place, it's going to be a disaster. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, Jake Browning's probably going to get back into the spotlight. Hopefully, he learned a thing or two. And like, look, don't go out there and try to be Joe Burrow. You're not Joe Burrow. Just go give the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I thought he could have used a couple more targets. Like, I get Buddy Ball, but that's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, he needs at least 6 targets a game.
Yeah, like he's way too talented. He can win you he can get you out of too many jams to only have as many targets as he did. Only 1 catch. It's a 44-yard touchdown. So
I saw something that said
yes.
it was great. It said T. Higgins, if you don't want to play receiver, put on 15 pounds, start lining up a defensive end.
Oh yeah, so it was like a Photoshop of 5. It was like T. Higgins at defensive end. I was like, you know what, man? Sure, why not?
Put on 15 pounds. They said he'd be better than Travis Hunter.
I mean, I guess I don't know. Um, but let's move on to the rest of this recap. Let's start with your Steelers versus the Packers. Like you said before we got this thing going, it was a pretty good game. Um, the Steelers had a 9-point lead at some point, but then um, in the third and really in the fourth quarter is when the Packers began to take over. Jordan Love, 360 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. On
On
the other
top of
side,
that,
Aaron Rodgers, 219.
20 straight completions for Jordan Love, tying a
Yes.
Packers record dating back to 2007 for Brett Favre.
I think I would be doing injustice if I didn't mention the best National Tight Ends Day performance belongs to Tucker Kraft, 7 catches, 143 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, we got to start talking about him as
Absolutely.
one of the league's best.
128 yards after catch. Getting it done. Yeah, he's absolutely one of the league's best tight ends, and I think his chemistry with Jordan Love has been great. You know, we always talk about who's going to break out as the wide receiver one, who's going to be able to show that they're reliable any given Sunday. Now, Tucker Kraft isn't like prime Jason Kelsey, where it's like, yeah, we don't need a wide receiver one. We have Tucker Kraft. But Tucker Kraft is, you know, maybe he could be, and this is a high bar. I hope no one takes this wrong, but like, he could be like a Jason Witten, you know? He's not Des Bryant, or he's not, you know, he didn't play with any other great receivers, but just throwing a Cowboys legend out there as an example. You know, he's not Michael Irvin, but he's going to show up every Sunday. If Jaden Reed isn't on par, and if Christian Watson isn't on par, Tucker Kraft will be there. I think that's great for Jordan Love's development, his pursuit to being an MVP level player. Tucker Kraft has been huge in that aspect.
100%.
Yeah, but talk to me about let's I want to hear your insight on the Packers. They're 5-1-1. They're leading the NFC. Their start that game. That game was like the kind of first game where I looked at them and said, okay, like that looks like the team I saw the first 2 weeks where I thought they could have been the best team in the NFL. Tell me what you thought they did well, and how likely they can sustain that success and not have teams like the Cardinals or the Cowboys pushing them towards potential losses.
Man, honestly, I think they just played efficient football against a very exposable defense, to be completely honest. TJ Watt has not been getting home this season much at all. Steelers, personnel wise, they have not been playing Nick Herbig enough. I think this isn't impressive to me as much on the so, against the defense. And like the Packers had no run game. It was just Jordan Love buddy ball with all of his receivers, and just like there were some throws. Tucker Kraft just threw a guy off of him and ran for 60 yards. Like that shouldn't happen. You shouldn't have a tight end rush 50 yards after the catch consistently. It's just like, I understand like rumble runs, but you should not be burning your safety's ankles. It's not supposed to happen. So the reality is, I think it's more on the Steelers' poor play calling on defense and poor execution than the Packers impressing me. I do think Kraft was phenomenal after the catch. Like that's like I said, that's part of it. And then on top of that, Jordan Love just he outdueled Aaron Rodgers. He made some throws that you're just like can't do much.
That looks like the quarterback who was in black and yellow used to be doing in the green and yellow.
Yeah, I mean Rodgers had a few of those throws through the same night. Roman Wilson,
Absolutely.
the,
Absolutely.
the,
I don't think
both
Rodgers
Roman
played
Wilson
bad
throws.
by any extent.
I do want to say Roman Wilson, a rival game, 5 catches, 74 yards, and a touchdown.
That's good. And I hope Rodgers can continue to trust him. I know he's a little shaky about younger receivers, but I'm glad that he's feeding into because Roman Wilson can be huge. You know how I feel about him. I do think he has a
He could
lot of
be,
high upside in this league. So I'm glad to
and
see that. Let me ask you, as you're a lifelong like Steelers fan, it, what I think the better question at this point is what can Tomlin do to not get fired this year?
I don't think he's gonna get fired. He would never get fired.
You don't think he will ever get fired?
I think he'll step away
You
before
don't
he gets
think
fired.
if Rodgers announces retirement and they want to be like, you know what, we're sick of the old quarterback thing. We want to try something new at head coach. We might as well just clean house. Rookie
He means
quarterback,
too much to the
new head
Rooneys.
coach. So, okay, so it's a personal thing. Okay, well, let me ask then you specifically. Is he on the hot seat? How hot's that seat? If you were in charge of keeping his job afloat.
You know, I think he would be on the hot seat for the last 5 years. I think he has been inherently for the last 5 years. I think it all comes down to, can Tomlin be more consistent within his game planning? I think adjusting for everything and adjusting game by game, like, you see them like not take other teams seriously sometimes, and that's how they lost to the Jags in the playoffs. They were the better team than the Jacksonville Jaguars,
Absolutely.
and let it 45.
We were looking ahead. Patriots Steelers AFC Championship game. Oh, Steelers win. We might get Pennsylvania Bowl, and you looked right over. Not you, but me and
Yeah,
you. I really remember it. We just looked right past them. There's like no way a team led by Blake Bortles could do it. But
yeah.
I
I
will say
mean,
though,
that's exactly what happened. Jalen Ramsey in that game, by the way.
yeah, I will say though, I wish the NFL would fire coaches the way college football does. If you came to any random person and said James Franklin has this many 10-win seasons and he's won said bowl game, and you know his win-loss record is just phenomenal and his team is constantly ranked amongst top 10 top 5 teams in the country, you'll be like, yeah, well, wow, he's a great head coach, but he isn't doing the ultimate goal, and that's either beating big teams in big time games. Like, he's not winning the national championship. That is the goal. Ryan Day's record was unreal. It's unreal. His record is unreal. He probably has suffered like 1 to 2 losses every single year as a head coach. And if they did anything besides win the national championship last year, I think he was going to get fired. But college
No,
is so serious as our programs are prestigious. I wish NFL franchises took it the same way. We are the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have 6 rings. We are one of, if not the most prestigious NFL franchise in the league's history. 9-8 and one and dones in the playoffs do not cut it. Sure,
no.
grass could be greener, but damn it, the grass ain't green at all here. You know?
It's like, you could say that partially. I mean, their quarterback play since Ben has been so subpar. When they had these great defenses, and they finally got decent quarterback play, and their defense that they have spent $185 million on is playing like this, it's like, who's the person to blame? Is it Terrell Austin? Because apparently Tomlin's not even calling the plays. It's Terrell Austin. Tomlin said he's not taking play calling duty. So like you said, like, if he's going to be on the hot seat, he needs to take the play calling duty and take some ownership. That's why I said he's not on the hot seat, because usually when a coach is on the hot seat, he will have more responsibility to prove his worth.
Well, I think that's also my other thing, though. If a coach is dodging the play calling, so like in your situation, is saying he can't really be put on the hot seat if he's not responsible for said things. You have to take responsibility, or you have to go, or I'm going to
Yeah,
find someone who will. Because the best team, like a lot of the best teams in the NFL, like Dan Campbell is a nasty playbook. He just has someone else calling it. But that's his though. That's why coordinators can come and go, and everything's going to be okay. Um, like the Eagles feel like are the sole anomaly. They're just so unbelievably talented that like Nick Sirianni can just be a game manager. He doesn't call plays on either side of the ball, so they're just that almighty talented. And trust me, not anyone, no one's particularly happy about the coordinators. Kevin Patullo's doing better. We will get to in a second, but yeah, like I think at least any unemotionally attached ownership will be like, look, you either need to call the play so you can at least defend yourself,
yeah.
or like we're going to get rid of you for someone who is a head coach and a play caller, like a Shanahan, like a McVay. Even not saying y'all replace him with Mike McDaniels. That's not my point, but he's a head coach who calls plays. Those are so valuable. So that when
I wouldn't mind Brian
coordinators are
Flores.
rotating through the door because these elite quarterbacks are getting guys jobs every year, it's like nothing's going to change though.
If Tomlin were to be fired, Brian Flores, welcome to Pittsburgh.
Absolutely, and I think he's done his time really developing as a coordinator. I would really like him for Pittsburgh. And I think if Rodgers could just stick out one more year, it would really be nice because like that's an
Rodgers is
older head
gone,
coach.
man.
He doesn't. It would just be nice though because we've seen what he was like with a young quarterback. He was like, Tua, you're not good. I don't like you. But it could kind of be like, hey, Rodgers, you got the offense. I got the defense, and we'll figure this out. But um, yeah, nonetheless, big win for the Packers. Steelers hope to get back on track next week. But let's talk about the Philadelphia
Back on
Eagles.
track. I wish they play the Colts.
As I did just mention, um, they Kevin Patullo, I think, called one of his better games of the year, and a lot
Ever.
of it has to do, yeah, probably his best game yet. His best game yet. We're talking a lot of play action from under center. We're getting Tank Bigsby and Saquon Barkley out behind the tackles. We're getting Saquon involved in the pass game on that touchdown, which I really like that touchdown because Saquon didn't catch it 5 yards in the backfield. Your check down should be at the line of scrimmage, if not 2 to 3 yards in the flat. That's where he was. Walk in touchdown, real easy. Dallas Goddard, they lined him up on, one was the rollout. That was real easy. But the first one, it's almost like you were ISOing up Zach Ertz on the slant. That's what it looked like. You were like, you know what? Smitty can beat people one on one, but yeah, Goddard's huge. Yeah, line him up on the smaller, weakened up Giants secondary. Throw him a slant. He's gonna bully his way in there.
You know,
Absolutely phenomenal game from Patullo. Hurts. Go ahead.
Devontae Smith
Yeah.
top 5 in receiving yards. Uh, at what point do you start looking at him like wide receiver one?
Um, AJ Brown would literally have to like not be on the team because the thing with AJ is he's one of the few receivers in the league where he like we watched it this year against the Rams specifically. He took over the game. Like he
He did.
is like a four. You might as well be handing the ball off to him in a way. How
I have
sustainable
a
could the
question
Eagles'
though.
success be with Smitty as a wide receiver one? I'm curious
Can the
because
Eagles
this
win a Super
game, I
Bowl
mean,
without AJ Brown?
could we win a Super Bowl without AJ Brown?
My answer is
Ooh,
yes.
my answer is yes. They're not my favorites though.
They're not
They're not
favorites,
my
but
favorites. You
I
got
think
the
they can.
elite quarterback. Smitty would be a good wide receiver one. Goddard would get more involved. And of course, you still have Saquon. If that line is healthy, then we're talking. If
I
that
think you look.
defense,
They're closer to the 2018 Eagles with Alshon and Torrey Smith and Matt Collins.
well, I think even the thing with that is, well, while true, a decent comparison, Smitty is a man-to-man beater that even Alshon wasn't. Alshon was great, box my guy out, let me go get this thing. Smitty can do that, but Smitty's more about he brought you up, let me walk you down. It also kind of depends on like how big can Jahan Dotson step up. I don't think they'd be my favorites in the NFC, but they could absolutely do it. And also kind of,
Yeah.
but I also take this game with a grain of salt because it was against not only the Giants, the banged up Giants. Like that
Yeah.
secondary was not healthy at all.
Not
But
not halfway
I
through the
mean,
game
a
either.
win is a win in the NFL. You know me. 5 touchdowns on the day for the Eagles. It's the best their offense has looked all year.
Yeah, I think they started to figure it out. And similarly, the Eagles started to figure it out about the same time last year. And they were 2-2 last year, and then rattled off what 12, 12-1 streak, and then swept their way to the Super Bowl. Uh, they could very well do the same thing. They have a tough schedule coming up, but they could very well. This game against the Packers is going to be for the 1 seed after the bye. Monday Night Football in Green Bay for the 1 seed playoff rematch. That is what you look forward to. And look, it's going to be Lane Johnson versus a guy who said the only person he can't beat is Lane Johnson. So that's it.
Yeah, I do have to say, I mean, the PFF numbers will say that, Lane hasn't let up pressures or sacks or whatever. I'd be lying if I said he didn't look a little more vulnerable than he has in years. Mainly due that the Broncos game with Cooper and Benito
Yeah.
were kind of just giving him and my lot of hell. So I am looking forward to that. It's going to be huge. Yeah, but as for this game, I mean, the Giants, the Eagles weren't really going for a lot of that same stuff that worked last time. They were able to contain Dart for the most part. Prayers up to Scatabo, of course, but when he was in the game, they also kind of weren't going for that. They were stacking boxes. Looks a lot different when you have Jalen Carter out there, even if the stats don't jump off the sheet. And it's also good to have a healthy Nakobe Dean back in the lineup. I've missed him a lot. I didn't realize how much I would miss him. Um, but Jihad was just a young buck still, but getting him involved in the edge rushing game has been nice as well.
Yeah, I will say, the Packers team. I kind of want to look ahead to the Eagles Packers a little bit because it's kind of relevant. Micah Parsons center blitz with their nose tackle is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. The Packers getting real crafty on that defensive line with their stunts,
They're
their
just having
blitzes.
Micah step back, walk them down, say, try to stop us.
Yeah. I have to read this AJ Brown article that's going around because people are getting so many different, like, I guess, opinions out of it. Some people are just like, oh, AJ Brown just wants to dominate. He wants to contribute. This dude said, my main takeaway from the AJ Brown piece is he won't be happy if Devontae Smith outshines him this year. I haven't read it, so I don't want to say if the dude's wrong or not, but um, yeah, their fallback is they got this picture from the Minnesota game from 2 years ago where Hurts started out with like a really bad interception, but like Devontae Smith had like 150 something yards, but AJ only had like 2 catches, but they were arguing. So I was like, I don't know. Yeah, I won't speak. Of course, I haven't read it. I don't know what I'm
I mean,
talking about exactly.
I'm gonna tell you, AJ Brown looks like he's playing with somebody with a bad attitude. I'm not calling him a diva, but he's playing with a bad attitude. You can tell in his body language. He looks he's very reminiscent of George Pickens in Pittsburgh last year to me.
Yeah, but I get him though.
I do
He
get it
is
too. I
so
get it.
dominant when he has the ball coming his way and when he has it in his hands as well. I just want to see after this bye week, let AJ Brown in this offense where we get a lot of motion, where we're getting under snap or under center, play action. AJ Brown loves to eat over the middle. That's what he was the what Mina Kimes pointed out, the absolute best receiver in the league when he was over in Tennessee, and did a little bit of that, in the first year in Philly. So hopefully that'll just get that can hopefully amend some things. Um, but yeah, enough about the crying Eagles. Let's talk about Bears Ravens because I'm absolutely embarrassed to have any Bear stock at all. That's horrible. Losing to all due respect, Pro Bowl quarterback Snoop Huntley. It's embarrassing. The defense didn't show up. Offense, Caleb had the passing yards, but where are your scores? What's going on? But also, good news for Ravens. They get this win this week, so they're not absolutely horrible. Um, so what are they?
And they get
2-6 because they didn't have their bye week yet, right?
2-5, 2-5. They had their bye, I
They're
believe.
2-5, 2-5, and Lamar just got cleared.
Lamar just got cleared, and they're playing the flaming hot Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. So I don't even have to look. I know Lamar has like several career games against Miami. So
He does, which is strange, but the Dolphins just looked good for the first time ever this season. I I know it's against Atlanta, but Atlanta,
I forget who their other good game was against, but that was the game that kind of reeled me back into them a
they
little bit.
they didn't look bad
Now
against the
this
Patriots. I mean, they
game
put
by Miami
25
isn't
points up.
reeling me back in. What do you say?
I mean, they put 25 points back up against the Patriots. I mean, it's not that bad. The
Yeah, I
reality is,
mean, yeah.
let's look back at the Ravens Bears though. Like Snoop Huntley doing that. Derrick Henry finally looking like Derrick Henry a little bit. You're gonna get MVP Lamar. He needs to go, like we said, he needs to just go whatever in two. Win 10 games, he's probably winning the division. One of those 10 games has to be Week 18 against the Steelers so that you win. So you're 2-5. You need to go 8-2, and one of those two games has to be a win in Week 18 or Week 15 against the Steelers. Can he do that? I think so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll find out for sure. Again, like we were talking about last week, like we assumed he was playing, and we assumed like this, like even this Bears game was like, all right, well, even if he's playing, it's going to be a toss up. Well, now you won without him. Now he gets to go another couple extra days. He's good. So they, like you said, I'm so sorry. I opened up Twitter just to find the notification and make sure I saw Lamar was good. And I saw an AI video of Aiden Hutchinson running out the tunnel, because we surely do not have a video of that. Right. Anyway,
I saw an AI video of Mac McClung in a Pacers uniform.
dude, I saw that. Like, we did not need to make an AI video of him walking. Just throw the jersey swap on him and post him. He's probably never even going to play for the Pacers. He's not even an NBA level player. Why are we doing this? This is crazy. But
hey,
as for
loves
Baltimore
Mac
though,
McClung.
yeah, as for Baltimore though, I mean they're 2-5. When this week we're 3-5, and then you head into a mini bye week, and this defense can get healthy, like you just get absorbed back into Baltimore again. And they dealt with their injuries early. If they're able to pick up how we think they could pick up, they'll be the hottest team heading into the postseason.
I think they will have some struggle come December. I think December is when we'll see if they're really a playoff team. I think they could win. I think they could win 4 or 5 straight. They could rattle off 4 or 5 straight. The reality is they have a bunch of unks who decide to play like unks, and they need to upgrade. They need to upgrade bad. You saw Nate Wiggins stepped up against the Bears. Under Nate Wiggins made the play of the game. The Bears could walk down the field and win the game if Nate Wiggins doesn't pick that ball off.
Yeah. Yeah, that was huge. That was huge.
So
I think Caleb's only turnover of the game, right?
I believe it was Caleb's only turnover.
Yeah,
so like
that. He's not turning. He hasn't been turning the ball over this year. He's doing a good job taking care of the ball, but it's a good job by Wiggins.
That's the plays that they're seeing from Wiggins, from Marlon Humphrey, from players in the other team. Still, the D-line, still not good. I'm not going to give them their flowers when I need to see them play as a real run team. Stop HN and me, because the way the Dolphins have been using HN and Waddle, it's like they almost remember that they can play action boot off of with some of the fastest players in the league. Like it's like, wow, Tua, you realize you still have Jalen Waddle and he can burn angles? Yeah. We'll love to see if the Dolphins wind up trading Waddle in this trade deadline coming up next Tuesday. If they do, I know a few teams that will be interested. One is in their division, and I don't think they'll give them up to the Patriots. Another is the Denver Broncos, and another Pittsburgh Steelers. And another is in the NFC East that I could see happening, just because of how short-handed.
I have a question for you real quick before we move to the NBA. While we're talking about trades, more likely to be moved: AJ Brown or Myles Garrett?
AJ Brown.
Think AJ Brown?
Both of them.
I saw a report saying that Myles Garrett being moved isn't impossible. But yeah.
AJ Brown for Myles Garrett swap would be awesome.
I mean, you know what? I love AJ Brown. He won a title for my team. He is one of the absolute best receivers in the NFL. What do you mean we have the chance to draw up a Myles Garrett, Jalen Carter stunt?
Yo, I really haven't been impressed with Jalen Carter the way I thought it would be this year.
Yes, I agree. And I think, I don't know what the bad thing is, because defensive tackles they're run first defenders, of course. Him and Jordan Davis, nobody can run on them. They are ridiculous. But he has this pass rush ability. That's where people were he could, Aaron Aaron Donald was like, that's the next me. Like, that's the next guy. But Aaron Donald was also the best pass rusher in the league, and he did it from the inside. And Carter just isn't that good as a pass
Yeah,
rusher. And not to compare him to arguably the greatest defensive player in NFL history, but
yeah, it's hard.
we
But
see what it looks like when you've taken over games. We saw when
I'm
you've
gonna
won a playoff game by yourself.
I'm gonna tell you why it won't happen,
So
and it's because the Eagles get Nolan Smith back in 2 weeks,
yeah,
and
that is true.
that is
And
going to be
he's
much
not
needed.
Miles Garrett.
No,
Well, even with Smith, the room is relatively weak, but Uche has been stepping up. He's applied some pressures lately.
Brand signed back.
Ajamo's been good. He's been just about as good as Milton Williams was last year. So he stepped up pretty nicely. But the edge rushers, hopefully Jihad can step into that role a little bit with Nakobe back.
I saw something that said, whoever comes out of this NFC is going to have to play the Patriots. Welcome back.
Yeah. I mean, as a playoff picture looks right now, we get Chiefs Patriots in the first round. Wouldn't that be something?
Drake May handing Patrick Mahomes passing the torch off to Drake May, just like I want.
Mahomes passing the torch at 30. He would never be Tom Brady. Tom Brady left with the torch. It's like that episode of Game of Zones. It was like who Kobe was going to deem the next great Laker. They was like, he's refusing to pass.
Oh, so we're
Let's get
officially
the
halfway through the
rebound.
season. Who is your MVP?
I would give my most valuable player award. I would give it to Patrick Mahomes. His stats back it up. His team's starting to get it back together. He has his team at 5-3, despite not having his wide receiver 1 through the first 6, not having Xavier Worthy for half of those games as well.
Or banged up one at that, even when he did play.
Yeah, and I don't think I can look at a single game and be like, Mahomes didn't play good. So, yeah, I think he's been the most consistent. I think he's. If you took him off this Chiefs team, I think they wouldn't even be prepping for NFL games at this point. They'd be looking deep at like some Marcel Reed tape right now. Yeah.
So I could agree with you there.
Who's yours?
I don't think I have a top 3 in order, and it's Drake May, Patrick Mahomes, and Jalen Hurts. That's my ladder. I'm
scared to just put Jalen Hurts that high yet. I mean, you look at the touchdowns. He's first amongst all quarterbacks in total touchdowns. He has 2 turnovers. It's a 10-1 total touchdown to turnover ratio. He's the first 2 games absolutely like warped people's mind on like how good this dude can be. I don't know why it went into Kevin Patullo's head that he needed training wheels, but through these past couple games, it's been great to see him let loose, really show off his talent. So I like the quick shout out there.
The Eagles had 0 run game for me, and they were just loading the box. And Patullo didn't have deep shots. He forgot that he has Devontae Smith and AJ Brown and
apparently Jahan Dotson.
Even Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson been that way on deep shots. His real kind of caveat is that like he can't block like that well. He's not the best blocker in the league, and his hands have been shaky in the past.
Yeah, but I mean, every time he throws on them Kelly Greens, he's got a good catch for you.
Even Julio is one of them.
Yes, he does. Julio has a 2 touchdown. Does Julio have a 2? No,
against the Dolphins. Yeah.
No, that wasn't his 2 touchdown. His 2 touchdown game was against Arizona. But when I think of Eagles Julio, I can only picture him in Kelly Green. So
yep, because we were at the game when they played Dolphins.
Yeah. If I had to give a top 3, I would say like Mahomes, Drake May. Oh my, Drake May has been so good, like so good. I think I would maybe give my third, and this is gonna sound like I'm a real hater. I'm not, because I think his quarterback would also be in the top 5 or 6 of this discussion. But I think my third would be Jonathan Taylor. Daniel Jones has been great. He's been playing as good as any quarterback in the league this year. But Jonathan Taylor's running laps around his position at the moment, and he's on pace for like 2,200 scrimmage yards.
And like, 20?
A million touchdowns. Only looking to threaten LaDainian Tomlinson's about 20-year-old record.
I believe he has 20. He's on pace for 28 touchdowns.
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely insane. Now, I think LT's, though, I think his is rushing touchdowns, though. I don't know about total touchdowns. That could just be his total touchdowns, too. Maybe he didn't have any receivers that year, receiving that year.
I have no
We'll
clue.
find out. But yeah. Let's move over to some NBA Weekly, though, where I'll ask the same question. Through 1 week of ball, who's your MVP?
It's Victor Wembanyama. He's leading Spurs 4-0. I'm gonna do a ladder the same way though. It's Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, that's fine.
Tyrese Maxey's my number 2.
Okay.
First player since Russell Westbrook and MJ to drop 150 points through the first 4 games.
Yeah, he's absolutely letting it rip, and that's what he should be doing.
At 3, it's got to be the reigning MVP, Shea. Shea's right behind him. Shout out Austin Reeves though. He's got to get an honorable mention on this list.
I mean, shout out. All right, if I had to make myself a little ladder, I'd put Wemby first. I think if you ask me through just this one singular week of basketball, no other things considered, Victor Wembanyama has been the best player on the planet. And then you start to ask yourself.
The Monks got him different.
Yeah. We'll have more questions relating to the Wemby topic, but I would say Wemby will be my first. I would put Giannis at second. Quietly, awesome. That Bucks team is very fun, believe it or not. I was watching real heavy into the Raptors game a couple nights ago. Had a real good fun time there. Bless you.
One more. There you go.
Bless you. Come on, I thought we were getting better. I thought we were limiting it to 2.
The Mexican water, man.
But yeah, I mean, Bucks have been quietly good and fun. Maybe good's not the word. Giannis and Friends is a good watch, though. I'll say that. And I think my third one, I would go to, I mean, like you said, Tyrese Maxey makes a great argument. Shea makes a great argument. I really wish Luka didn't get hurt because, like, through those first 2 games he played, I'd 10,000% give it to him as that third spot, maybe even the second spot. I'll go Shea. That's fine. With Maxey right behind him.
Remember we were doing our NBA awards prediction, and I was like, yo, can I choose Tyrese Maxey as most improved again?
I mean, but I don't think they're going to give it to someone who jumps from 25 a game to 35 a game. They're just going to give you the MVP.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think no one's going to win most improved and most valuable player. I
understand that, but you know what I'm saying, though? Like,
yeah, no. Scoring statistically, you make sense there.
I saw this coming with him getting more touches, and the Embiid minute restriction. I didn't think he was going to drop 37 a game for the first 4. I thought he was going to get 33, 32. But goddamn, he is
yeah, he's absolutely lights out. But shout out to the big fella. They gave him 3 extra minutes last night. He kind of kept them afloat. He left the game with a team high +9. He was really effective on both ends, I would say.
Yeah, I think
shout out to a Bona. He saved the game. He saved the game. He couldn't give you nothing on offense, but oh my goodness, he is as good of a rim protector as almost anybody his age currently, besides that alien
winning slam.
Yeah. Yes.
I saw something that said Sixers don't need a blue chew because they got a Bona.
They got a damn Bona. Yes, they do. Who and yeah, VJ was quiet and whatnot, but solid game. Enough about the Sixers though. Let me take you to another question. This is a 2-parter. 1, how secure is the best player in the world spot right now? And 2, is there a reality where Wemby is the surefire best player in the world by the end of the season?
I think Wemby is the surefire best player in the world right now. I think there's people who will. I don't think it's secure though. I think we can look at what Wembanyama is doing and say it is extremely rare, and he's the only person that can do what he's doing. He's the only person that can get 5 stocks a game with averaging 27 and 12 Is that what he averages right now? That's when it's
Just about like he's averaging
maybe more.
29, I think 13.8 rebounds and 4.8 blocks.
So yeah, I mean 4.8 blocks and what 1 or 2 steals a game. So I sold him
Yep.
short a little bit. Is my point.
Yeah.
I just said a
I
dude
would
that averages 27 and 12 is I'm selling him short. Also, I sold him short on 1 to 2 stocks. That guy very hard to replicate because of the defensive end and because how efficiently he shoots the 3 ball. I think the only person who could rival him in terms of defensive production and offensive production comes down to probably Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah. And Giannis defensively isn't the rim protector that Wemby is. He's also
But
not
he's
the
damn sure he's been playing his off-ball defense like a menace
Oh
this year.
yeah. Like you don't want to really go to the rim if Giannis is going to be there. Um, but I'll say this about this: so Jokic is still, I think, like all things considered, Nikola Jokic is still the best player in the world. I think that conversation is as loose as it's been in a while. If you said Giannis is the best player in the world, got a good argument. You say Wemby right now is the best player in the world. You have a compelling case, like you just said. There's no one who can do what he does. Um,
Where's
if you
Steph
said
ranked right now?
Shea, you know
Is he
what?
still top
Shea's
10?
on the heater. Shea had the best year last year. Sure, we'll go Shea. If you want to say, man, Luka's putting he looking like 2024 Luka, yeah, give it to Luka. It's definitely at the most shaky it's been in a while, and I very much believe by the end of this year we could be having that conversation. Is Victor Wembanyama the best player in the world? I think so. I think so.
And Terry
Yeah.
Rozier can bet on that.
Yeah. I'm look, if Vic ever goes under on his stocks, find that man. Um, but yeah. Um, and then I think we can finish it off on this one. Who's been the biggest surprise for you this year? It could be a coach, a player, a team. Who's been shocking to you? It could be good or bad.
Let me think of a little bit on that. I do want to say the Celtics have been hilarious. They have the funniest storylines. I do want to mention the Celtics. Jalen Brown going on live stream on Twitch, getting about going bald.
Yeah, and
Like
you know what? I
that's probably
like
the funniest
JB
storyline
being
of the
able
year.
to laugh some stuff off. I personally thought like this team. I was like, maybe we can be decent. Maybe JC can come back, and then I kind of realized we have no big. Um, not having a center is it's not going to go well in the East. Um, not with Giannis, not with Mobley and Allen, not with Cat, not even with Embiid. You know, especially considering I guess at the rate these games have been going, he's going to look fine by mid-year. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. And to me, is Kada. Love you, brother. You play with a lot of hustle. You are not a starting center in this league. Um, I would say my biggest surprise, though, I think I would have to give it to the Miami Heat. I mean, their offense looks nothing like it did last year. Norman Powell has not only been able to create the half court offense for them, but as a whole, they're getting up and down, and it's allowing them to score 130 points a game when they used to fall back on the defense. But
Yeah,
they
how
were
did
like,
they
you
get the
know
highway
what?
robbery? I just want to know how did they highway rob and get Andrew Wiggins and get Norman Powell? Like,
I don't know. They don't have to pay Jimmy Butler though. I mean, you got Wiggins' contract, but yeah, Wig's been fine. Um, I really like the Heat, and I truly believe Tyler Hero is one of those archetype of players. Like he's kind of like a Cam Thomas, or he's like a Zach Levine. We'll call it that kind of spectrum where like he really gives you buckets, but he really cannot guard. He's a cool player to watch. I don't know how impactful he is. He was their whole offense last year. Let me not say like he wasn't their MVP last year. But I don't know. I guess you could give him a couple of games when he's back, see how he fits into this thing. But if he's a ball stopper, if he's slowing down the pace of things, like maybe there's a world where Hero is moved. But I would like to think he could mold into this offense. I'd really like to see him work with Norman Powell. So
yeah, I think the
I've
Mavs
also
have been
just
a little
I've also
surprised.
just accepted Bam Adebayo for what he is at this point.
Yeah, I do want to say I think the Mavs are the most surprising thing to me. I thought they'd be a little bit better out of the gate. It's not even to blame on AD or Cooper Flag. I think they're just really suffering without Kyrie. They need a primary ball handler. They don't have is Brandon Williams the guy for them?
Brandon Williams is a real crafty scorer. And D'Angelo Russell can kind of play make, but you do need someone who does both, and that is Kyrie Irving.
I saw something that said D'Angelo Russell teaches kids how to count with the first ever 1, 2, 3 stat line.
Yeah, and then later he had an 8, 9, 10 stat line. 8 points, 9 boards, 10 assists. So,
he's so funny, man.
At some point, the math says he's going to have a 98, 99, 100 game. So
he's going to have a 6, 6, 7, 7 game.
Okay. 6, 7, 8 game. 5, 6, 7 game.
But the reality is, I do want to see this team continue to get better. The last point I want to hit on is the Memphis Grizzlies. They're not playing their guys' minutes. Jaren Jackson, they're averaging 25 to 27 minutes a game.
Well, when you're getting smoked by 40, yeah, they're not going to play a lot. No, not at all.
I get it, but 27 minutes a game from your two All-Stars, got to be better.
Yeah. I mean, Ja played 31 in a 13-point loss to Golden State. Jaren Jackson played 29 minutes. So I definitely get where you're coming from.
Well, yeah, meanwhile, you got Tyrese Maxey and BJ Edgecombe averaging 40 minutes a game.
Fresh legs, baby. Fresh legs.
Hey, that has to come down when we have Jared McCain coming back in next week, please.
Yeah. I'd say the thing with the Grizzlies I really don't like is, they just don't have their secondary ball handlers. Like, they don't have Pippen Jr. They don't have Ty Jerome. Like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope putting the ball on the deck as much as he has. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. And he's still not even shooting great. So it's hopefully they can find a way to. You really can't even squeeze him out of the rotation because you kind of need him for the spacing. But at some point, they're not going to care. That's why I hope teams would do with the Thunder. Look, Shea is unstoppable. I don't care about Lou Dort. Leave him open. Leave him open. I don't care. If we lose to Lou Dort 6 threes, so be it. But he gonna stay in that corner, and we're not guarding him, dog. I'm sick of it.
Draymond hit 5 threes, we lose, man. I don't care.
PJ Tucker, 5 threes.
4 to 3.
Oh my goodness. But that's everything we got for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, sorry, this is the only episode of the week. Sorry, we're 2-man weaving for those who are here for Chris. But we appreciate you guys tuning in. YouTube, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Audio listeners, leave a like, 5-star review, download the episode. From AP New Freezer, DC Comics, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week.